So we're back. This is our fourth installment. And today we were going to talk about Warhammer 40K. But I watched a movie last week that made me crazy. It would be that. That's right. I cannot believe Disney is all over Star Wars. Where to begin? I had hopes when Disney took over that what would happen is they would be able to do Star Wars as well as they do Marvel. But apparently, that's like asking for, I don't know, the sun to turn green. Because it isn't going to happen. So, yeah, that's how today's going to go. I don't even know where to begin with The Last Jedi. Should I start with the rampant cliches that are everywhere in the whole movie? Should I start with the 60 to 70% completely unoriginal scenes that they stole from the 3 original stories? I don't even know where to begin. It's not that hard to make good Star Wars. George Lucas was capable of doing it. You have access to a lot of really talented people, but you don't seem to be able to actually pull it off, and I want to know why. Let me start here. The Last Jedi is probably the worst Star Wars movie ever made, period. And I've seen them all. I saw Star Wars in the summer of 1977 at the theater, and ever since then, I've been a fan, and I'm getting ready to never ever watch another Star Wars movie as long as I live because Disney can't get their shit together. And I don't care if this is making people mad. I don't care if people are all sad about this. This is the truth. That's what happened. They did not make an original movie. They went, oh, we have 3 or 4 decent ideas that we're going to marginally be able to put together in a movie, and we'll fill it in with shit that we plagiarized from the original movies and probably other places. Oh, I really like when they take the salt and go, oh, it's salt, so that everybody's like not going, oh yeah, it's just like Hoth, what the hell? No, it was just like Hoth. I'm just in shock that this ever made it to theaters. If it failed, it deserved to fail. And that's just all there is to it. The story's marginal. I don't understand why half the stuff happened in the movie that did. There's no direction with any of it. Somebody who actually knows Star Wars maybe should take back over Star Wars. I'm just saying. It's a thought. Or people who have done a really good job with Star Wars, maybe they should go ahead and keep doing Star Wars and other people should not. Feel free to jump in.
I like that they killed off the big bad guy.
Oh yeah, they killed off Snoke. Have no idea who he was, what he was there for. He was there for the sole purpose of being the ultimate bad guy to get defeated by Darth Tantrum. Oh yeah, Darth Tantrum. That son of a bitch, all he did was cry and piss and moan and throw tantrums like a one of the worst characters ever. And what I really like about all that, one of the things I really love of that I'm sorry, they remind me of somebody else who's all over Star Wars. They're called Sony Online Entertainment. Something else I really love about it is just how I don't understand how you can just screw Star Wars up. Oh yeah, that's right. There were all these stories, all these great and creative stories that were done by, I don't know, the 40 or 50 writers since the probably 1980s, maybe 70s, but I think 1980s. And they just threw all that shit in the garbage. Bam! Don't need that. We're going to do our own thing. And we're just going to pull our butt cheeks all the way apart and duke all over the top of Star Wars and call it a good thing. And it's not. It sucks. You guys suck. Stop it.
And it probably didn't help that EA up too.
That has nothing. I thought that was part of the reason why your movie failed. Your movie failed because it sucked. It was terrible. That guy that wrote and directed it, Maybe he should go back to, I don't know, writing and directing Teletubbies or some shit, because obviously what he's doing, he should have no business touching Star Wars. Why wouldn't you let Jon Favreau do this? Jon Favreau?
I think so, yeah. That sounds right.
You know, Happy.
Yeah.
From fucking Iron Man. That guy. He actually makes good movies.
He makes really good movies. For f***'s sake.
There were just so many plagiarized scenes in that, it was just sickening. And then they went, oh no, look, our walkers are totally different, so it's a totally different scene. It's salt, not ice or snow, so it's a totally different scene. Look, we're shooting at an imaginary Luke and making a big plume of red for like 5 minutes. What the fuck purpose is in that? You guys are idiots. I'm just beside myself. I had originally thought, what needs to happen is, maybe Disney should be smart and hand it off to somebody who's actually capable of making really good science fiction shows like Netflix. Because so far, they've done a bunch of new science fiction shows in the past year that have all been way better, way more thought out, way better written, way better directing. Every bit is beautiful. And
original.
I'll give you that. It's actually a really pretty movie. The colors are all bright. It's all super smancy and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a f***ing amazing movie if you smoke pot too. If you're just stoned off your ass and don't give a shit anyway, I'm sure it's great.
And, I'd wondered when I heard that, we saw an interview with Mark Hamill where he said
he fundamentally disagreed with everything that they had done with Luke Skywalker.
And I thought, what? Can't be that bad.
It's a bad omen.
And, Mark, he's got a little too much Joker running around in him, so...
No such thing.
All right. He's got a lot of Joker running around in him. And every now and then, you're not really sure if he's serious or if he's, f***ing about. And so I thought, well, maybe he's just kidding, trying to get people spun up. No, he wasn't. Everything they did with Luke was idiotic. Serious. It was terrible. It was just terrible. The Force Awakens was a decent movie. Wasn't terrible. So far, the best Star Wars movie Disney's made was Rogue One. By far. It had a bunch of original characters doing a bunch of original shit on original locations. None of it looked like they sat down and went, how can I possibly make a movie that feels and looks like a Star Wars movie? Oh, I know. I will steal everything George Lucas did and put it in 1.5 hour hunk of dog. It's terrible. I'm astounded that you guys would do that. So far, the choices that Disney has made with Star Wars have all been pretty dog. I mean, okay, let's be honest, Rogue One was good. My favorite movie that you guys have done. I got it, not a problem. I haven't seen Rebels, so I don't know if it's better or not. I'm going to go with it's not as good as Clone Wars because the art style is marginal.
It's not.
At least Clone Wars series, the art was pretty and it was unique and the stories were all really cohesive. Oh yeah, you guys took that from Netflix, who was going to do a legendary job moving on with the story. Thanks, that was great. You really hooked some brother up. What else have you guys done that was really genius? 13. That looked like it was going to be a legendary Star Wars video game. And you guys just kicked it in the can and went, we don't need that. We're Disney. We got billions of dollars. We're f***ing awesome.
All you would have had to do was it was done. What the f***? No. Can't have that.
Yeah. You guys, I just don't get it. And let's be honest, my personal opinion is the way Kylo Ren acted in both of those movies. Not the actor, because Adam Driver is actually a really good actor, and I've seen him in a bunch of other shit where he's hilarious, and he's really good, and I like him.
Yeah.
But his character, or whoever directed that character, or however that wound up being, that character would have been executed by Darth Bane.
In a second.
Would have been killed. He would have been totally executed by Darth Bane, because he's a piece of crap and a wussy. You know, he basically did the same underhanded to kill his master. And I get that you want to completely change the Jedi and the Sith and make it yours and make it original, and you're gonna it up. You're gonna fuck it up. I don't know. Maybe George Lucas wrote all this. Seems unlikely.
Seems really unlikely.
He didn't really have a habit of,
stealing from his own work.
Redoing his own stuff and making it a little different, and then making really, really obvious references to how it's not the same. It is a little different.
It's salt.
Not snow.
It's not snow, it's salt.
It's shocking how idiotic that is. What else bothered me? There were scenes with Yoda that were full on just stolen right out of The Empire Strikes Back. They took the exact thing, cut it out of The Empire Strikes Back, and just superimposed him over the shit with Luke. There were scenes where Luke was talking to Yoda that couldn't have been more like some of the scenes from The Empire Strikes Back if they'd have been in a fucking swampy planet. Just couldn't have been anymore. Yeah. We already talked about the dog shit on the white and red planet. That was idiotic.
Even where Luke went, that whole I need to run away because I'm a failure. That's what Yoda did. At the end of Revenge of the Sith. That's exactly what he did.
Well, I don't know that he ran away because he was a failure. I think he ran away in hopes of being able to preserve the Jedi Order. But it was the result of failing.
In the movie he said, failed I have, into exile I must go.
So, I don't know. You guys either need to get your shit together, or we have one theory that is redeeming. It appears that the Star Wars stories, like Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and hopefully Solo, a Star Wars story, will actually be decent stories and decent movies. And if they are, then I'll keep watching those. But if this series, the original line just deviates off into dumb land, done. I won't even think twice. I'll be disappointed, But and I just don't understand how such a completely unoriginal story and movie could be made in light of, I'm serious, in light of the massive amount of development that has gone into the Galactic Republic in the 41 years since it was first on the silver screen. I just don't understand how you couldn't have come up with some original shit. Oh yeah, that's right. Because everything that doesn't have Disney's name on it is no longer considered anything except bullshit dog. You guys don't care. You guys need to pull your heads out of your
or say you're not, and we'll just leave.
Just
openly admit that you're done with all of it. Yeah, and then people like us will just peace out.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to keep watching your Marvel movies, because so far you haven't those up. So far.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you can Star Wars up, you can up Marvel. Just saying.
Can't be that hard, apparently.
And, that's how that's going to go. This is a little different than what I was hoping to do, but I was so shocked by how terrible that movie was. I was just so shocked. It's just terrible. It could have been good, but instead it was crazy. It was just crap. How did Rey's character go from the Force Awakens to The Last Jedi? The only character that really didn't get weird was Kylo Ren. He continued to be a crybaby bitch.
Yeah. He stayed absolutely the same.
Oh, I know. There are going to be people out there, if they ever watch this, they're going to lose their minds because Kylo Ren is so awesome.
How dare you?
It's just not true. It's just not true.
Perfect hair.
Yeah, Darth Perfect Hair. I like to refer to him as Darth Tantrum, because every time he turns around, he's throwing a hissy fit. Like
breaking or killing nothing.
Killing a machine. Chopping up an interrogation chair. Oh my God! He kills stuff that can't fight back, or he kills underhandedly. in a
like a
wussy way.
And I know what they were trying to do with him. They were trying to make him all intimidating and scary like Darth Vader, but you failed. Darth Vader was able to kill somebody on an entirely different ship when that person failed. He didn't go and smash a chair.
Well, there's that, and the reality is that he was frightening just by being Darth Vader, just by being him.
Just looking at him.
And this guy being him is...
He's
Again,
wannabe.
nothing against the actor, because again, Adam Driver's a really good actor. I just think that the story and the character development were I'm sorry if that makes you sad, but that means it's really slow. It's dumb. It didn't work out the way it should have been. The other thing is the direction had to be terrible because they directed him to act like a he had a handful of scenes where he wasn't I suppose, but again, I like to compare all of those kind of people against Darth Bane. I know you guys don't want him to be canon. I know you don't, but he is.
He is.
Thank God George Lucas saw to that.
He was like 3 episodes away from getting Revan in there too.
Yeah, almost had some more legendary shit to be added in there, but no. You know, that was one thing that Lucas was really good at, is he was really good at
bringing everything together.
Well, he was really good at looking at things as a whole, right? And going, sure, I didn't create this character, whatever it was, but it's really great, so I'm going to incorporate them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we all know why Drew Karpyshyn stopped writing the Sith Lord series of books, because he must have known you guys were going to take over and all over his work, and I would have been upset about that myself. So maybe not. Maybe he just was busy with Tor, which you guys haven't fucked that up yet. But I'm waiting
soon. I mean, it's bound to happen.
I'm just waiting to see that go through. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I have been lifelong dude. Literally, the Star Wars came out the summer I turned 8. So for over 40 years, it's been the one thing that I've loved more, the one thing I've loved the most. Granted, I was all into it because of Star Trek. And how the hell did J.J. Abrams do so good on the new Star Trek movies? Because those were really good movies. And then The Force Awakens was a good movie. It just wasn't as good as those. It just wasn't great. I just don't understand. I'm wondering, do you suppose there was a with great big ears going like this on the top of JJ going, no, you can't do that. No. Ah!
Probably.
No, JJ, you can't be doing that. Pluto will piss on his leg. We can't have JJ making a good movie. I just don't know. I don't know what the fuck you guys did. It just irritates me. Again, if you're a Star Wars story movies continue to be good, like Rogue One, it'll be great. I'll keep watching those because those are great. But I mean, and realistically, let's be honest. Who of the original cast is still there? Luke's gone. Unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away after the making of the Last Jedi, so she won't be back. That sucks. Han Solo's gone.
Died.
I mean, everybody else is gone from the original stories.
The only one that's still kicking around is Chewie, but his character is so old. How long do Wookiees even live? He's got to be
1,000 years or something.
I don't know. They live a long time. Well, I don't know how long he's going to live.
Is that canon? I don't know.
He might not. I don't know.
I don't know. But, I mean, and I get that the original characters couldn't be kept because that shit was made 40 years ago. It was made over 40 years ago because it'll be 41 years this summer that it was out. And I get it, nobody lives forever. Eventually you would have to trade those guys out or get new people or do something, and it's better that perhaps that they pass away because that's how the stories were going to wind up eventually anyway. I don't know. I remember reading something as a kid that said It was supposed to be 9 stories total. George Lucas's original plan was for 9 stories that basically followed R2-D2 and C-3PO. Right?
And Chewie thrown in every now and
I
then.
think Chewie might have been in there. I don't know. I do know that
He keeps
it
popping
was
up.
those. And basically, episode 1 through episode 6 are pretty close to what he was hoping for. Maybe. There is some debate about that because there's some people who went, well, you know, Star Wars was awesome and The Empire Strikes Back wasn't bad, but after that it was like, woo, marketing, me, toys, ha, billionaire. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never met George or talked to him. Hopefully he's okay with all of this. Hopefully the $6 billion you guys showered him with. And did you have to steal that money from Scrooge McDuck? I'm just curious. Did he know you went into his vault and took a bunch of his gold to give to George Lucas? Because I'm sure you opened the door and went, what the f***? Just saying. I'm just curious.
Kind of odd that they're bringing him back again for some TV shows.
Yeah, he needs to go back to work. You guys stole all his money to buy Star Wars. And then you shit on it. What the hell?
It seems like an expensive wipe.
I was originally going to make this video after I was irritated with you guys. I'm glad I waited a week so that I could collect my thoughts a little because I was angry. I was so angry that night. I watched it 2.5 hours and I was so disappointed in that movie. It's almost like you guys went and got the same people that made the Black Hole. You remember that movie you guys made, Disney, The Black Hole? The fucking science fiction space movie ever fucking made? And that includes the shit from the 40s and 50s that were really sad. Yeah, you know when you guys went, oh yeah, Star Trek came back, Star Wars is good, we'll fucking jump in on that and just make a really bad movie that's terrible and nothing works and it's all fucking horrible. It's a lot like that, except you're taking a franchise that's already been in existence and one that's already good and trying to f it up and make it like that one. And I just want you to stop! That's all. I don't know that you will stop because I know you're Disney. You can do no wrong. Disney, Mickey! Fuckers. That's all I got. I'm done bitching and complaining about this. It's disappointing because it really could have been a good story. I can kind of see where it could have been a good story, but it
Failed.
The directorially writing challenged guy that you put in charge of that, yeah, that was the stupidest thing you've ever done in Star Wars so far. It just is. And that's all. Feel free to like this if you liked it. Feel free to don't like it if you didn't like it. I'm open to any comments, even the ones that are wrong about how great this stuff is and how great Kylo Ren is. I'm willing to read your wrong opinions about him and this movie. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Then, yeah.
Okay.
Adios.
Mm-hmm.
Like us,
Subscribe.
Yeah.
all that, or hate us.
Yep.
Whatever. I hate your too.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
You can find us on Twitter and Facebook.
I'll hate you there too.
Twitter, Facebook,
Instagram, we're trying to figure it out.
Instagram. We got an Instagram. We got a Twitter. I'm pretty sure nobody's watching them that closely. So if you're writing on there, we're super sorry. Eventually, I'll actually
I'll reply to all of them.
force
very nicely.
people to stop being idiotic and do their part and ensure that we're taking care of anybody who wants to talk to us, which will be shocking. I guess that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Yep.